Okay, guys, at the beginning of his premiership in World War II, Winston Churchill famously said one time that without victory there is no survival. And in World of Tanks, if you're a light tank driver, sometimes you have to reverse that formula and change it to without survival there is no victory. And that is a hint to all you light tank drivers that dying is not such a great idea, especially for your win rate. A lot of people don't take their time in their light tanks all that seriously. Well, I'm not like that. And if you survive, you have options, one of which is to either do a reset or do a cap, and we'll see that in a minute. Now, I've had to come up with a term for this kind of a battle after I looked at the replay a couple times, and I didn't have a term for this until today, and what I'm going to call it is a revolving door battle. And what I mean by that is that both teams essentially assembled a heavy push, and they advanced quite aggressively, but the two heavy forces did not run into one another at all. And that's the revolving door. So ahead of me up here you can see the AMX M451 platoon and the Object 268 are up there, and they're going to be very aggressive. I don't know the reason, but one of the guys from Claws there was a bit late. Maybe he had a phone call or had to change a baby diaper. I don't know, but his lateness actually might have affected the outcome of the game. And then there's an IS-7 there, which I can see, and he's 217 meters away from me. I don't think I'll shoot my gun at him. He crossed the field to join this group, right? Reinforcing strength. You know, that's one of the #1 rules in this game. And our force defending this position was just not adequate to stop them, and they pushed through the bottleneck there. They didn't waste any time. You know, in a lot of games on Fjords now, and a lot of games in Fjords a long time ago, people were satisfied just to try to snipe from here and wait and wait and wait. Well, they didn't wait, and we couldn't react here. Now, the term I'll use in this video for a light tank driver is being cap conscious, meaning that in the back of your mind, that's one of the things you constantly have to be thinking about, like I said earlier, either to cap yourself or do a reset. And you can't get caught up in a firefight that will not, you can't achieve anything. And you've got mobility, right? So in the later stages, you can make a difference. So I'm going to hit the space bar. And, you know, I was getting spotting damage here, but, you know, I've been in this situation so many times that, you know, I do think about the cap. So there's the push I was talking about. No delays there. You know, that is so awesome for those guys because, you know, they've probably experienced frustration. And I don't know if the changes in the map make that easier or if it's the same or harder. I don't know. Anyways, you know, I can't do much to save the Arty. You know, that's a false position. Once they turn the corner, those two Arties are basically doomed. And like I said, we don't have a sufficient force here. But before I decided to leave, I said, oh, why don't I have a little fun with an IS-7 and see if my armor-piercing rounds can penetrate from the side. There's one. Two. Duck down. And let me check here. Yeah, both M451s now have arrived. But like the second guy wasn't as quick as his buddy. So, and I've already decided to cap. You know, it's not exactly a secret what the meaning of this video is, and I'll show you that. Now, my driving here was a little bit what's the word? Unprofessional. Possibly because I was distracted. I don't know. But I crashed into a building here, and it could have had an effect on the outcome, so I'll just show you. There, that's embarrassing. I have to show it to you, though. Okay, so the capping has started, and I have, like I said, I stayed away from a fight that I could not possibly win, and made my presence felt in a completely different part of the map, right? Light tank could do that, no other class of vehicle could do that. And I'll just slow this down to regular speed. There's the final. I think that was the final shell from the Tier 10 Arty. And we'll just watch this. 2, 1. And there is the victory with 6 seconds to spare. Right? If you're less 6 seconds or less, it's a draw. So that was about as close as it gets. Now look at the people who are dead. Our T49 died almost right away. The 12T and the Bulldog of the NAP team also are both dead. They didn't remember my mantra at the beginning: without survival, there may be no victory. Thank you, with Mr. Churchill. You know, everybody in a light tank, don't die. It's you know, you'll have more fun in the later stages of battles, and you can save a game for your team and yourself. You know, it goes on your record, and it goes on everybody else's record. You know, a lot of people don't consider that they have a responsibility to teammates, but I believe that. You know, that's one of my core beliefs. Anyways, it's game over, and I hope you enjoyed the video.